This
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
This is Ron Graham. I'm the president of HAVIN, and I want to say thank you for being here today. It's a beautiful, hot Sunday or Saturday afternoon. I'm just tickled that y'all are here. We welcome you for our latest Zoom workshop, How Smart Are Your Glasses? I appreciate our presenters today. We have Jessica Clark from Orcam, Bob Roehm from Envision, and Kyle Kiper. He is presenting about the Meta RayBan glasses as a blind user. He's been using them for some time now and has a good base of experience to share with you. And I've heard him present about that, so I'd like to share that with y'all as well. And this has been something we've wanted to do for a while, and we're just tickled to be having it today. What I'd like to do briefly is ask everybody to mute your microphone. You know, there will be time for questions. Raise your hand, you'll be called upon. And Talana and Monique are here to help me manage the chat and the hand raising. So if y'all would just work with us on this, just raise your hand and we take care of that. So y'all didn't come to hear me talk, so I'm going to leave it. I'm going to turn this over to the professionals, and they have a lot to share. And thank y'all for being here. So first, I'm going to introduce Jessica Clark, who's joining us for Orcam.
Welcome to Zoom. Enter your meeting ID followed by pound.
Okay.
Okay, is that to me?
Is that Jessica?
Yes, this is Jessica.
Yes, ma'am. It's all you.
Okay.
You're on.
Wonderful. Well, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having
me. You entered 8, 7, 9, 8,
we wouldn't mind.
0,
Jessica,
9, 1,
hang on a second.
1. This meeting ID does not exist. We're cleared.
Can someone mute Gail there? Okay. Go ahead, Jessica.
Okay, yeah. If anybody else has their microphone on, if you wouldn't mind muting that, that'd be wonderful. I will absolutely take questions. 8, 7, 9, and at that time, we can always turn the microphones back on. But yes, hello. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Jessica Clark. I work for Orcam, and I'm excited to be here with you guys today. I'm going to tell you about some new and exciting things that we have going on. And give you a little bit of a demonstration. Definitely have an opportunity for questions. But before I do any of that, I just kind of wanted to address some of what's been going on in the media and what's been going on with our company as of late. If you have not heard of any of this going on, then I apologize in advance. But for anybody that has heard about Orcam in the news, about rumors that may have been spurring about the state of where we are, I just kind of wanted to take a moment to explain everything that's been happening to us. So, you know, Orcam needed to make some shifts in their business model. And so that a lot of those changes happened internally to my team. We shrunk down to a much smaller team, but we did that also that we could stay viable and continue to support our customers and our products and continue delivering these great tools that we have for the low vision community. So for anybody that has heard that Orcam is getting out of the low vision business, that is not happening. Now, granted, it was, you know, the rumors were warranted because we had a lot of changes happening. But those changes are settled now. We are just working on a smaller team with myself included. And we still have R&D that's working on developing new products and perfecting the current products. which in fact, I'm going to be showing you some of those today. We still have a customer support team that's supporting our current customers and any new customers. And we still have a sales team for people like myself that are out to help support the community, continue doing presentations like this and educating on what our products are to offer. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to always directly reach out to me. I'll definitely leave my contact in the chat before I go today. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and kind of talk to you about some of the new stuff that we have going on. Orcam has recently released, I know I'm going to talk a lot about the Orcam MyEye, which is our wearable device that gets worn on a pair of glasses. But recently we have released what we are called as our Orcam Read 5. That's got some pretty cool technology. So I'm going to start there, give you guys a little bit of a demo, and then I'm going to switch over to the MyEye just so I can briefly touch on this new exciting stuff. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Orcam, we provide devices that are going to turn any text into speech. It's going to take a full page capture. So maybe I'm reading a book. I'm going to take a picture of that book, and it's going to read that text back to me verbatim, and pretty instantaneously. So it's in the function of OCR is actually happening when we are not connected to Wi-Fi. There are a couple other things that the device can do when we're not connected to Wi-Fi as well. Things like facial recognition, currency reading. It can recognize some barcodes. It can do quite a few things offline. So that means if you are, 10,000 feet in the air and you want to read your book on your flight, your device is always going to work for you. You're not dependent on being connected to any external source. Now, some of the new stuff that we have released, this feature is called our AI assistant. Being that it's a little bit more high powered, a little bit more high functioning, we do have to be connected to Wi-Fi for this feature to work. Now, that being said, one of the newest things that we have done is we've actually released a new app that helps us to seamlessly connect to our device. So I'm going to open my app right now. I have an iPhone. It can also connect to Android as well. Now, when I'm in this app, my phone is connected to my home Wi-Fi, or if I wasn't at home, my phone is connected to data. By simply pairing with a simple Bluetooth pair, my phone to my device, I now have access to either using my phone's Wi-Fi or using my phone's data if I'm out and about and not connected to Wi-Fi. For any of you who ever experienced our past apps, we had a separate app for MyEye, a separate app for Read. It's now one app. You open the app, it says, do you want to pair? You push pair and you are connected. It is very seamless. Before, it used to be a lot of, put your username and password in and go get a code from your email. And none of that is happening now. We really wanted to just streamline the process. You open the app, you turn on your Orcam device, you are now connected to Wi-Fi, and you can take advantage of some of these really fun, high-powered features. So I'm going to give you guys an example of what that is. I have my Orcam Read 5 here in my hand. Now, what this new AI assistant can do is, instead of reading verbatim, I can actually interact with my device and ask it questions. So for example, maybe I wanted to read a menu, right? If I took a picture I have an Applebee's menu here. If I were to take a picture of this Applebee's menu, it would read me every single line item. That's, 50, 60 plus different line items. Could be a little bit of an exhausting task to do if I'm really just trying to choose my lunch option. Or what I can do with my Read 5, I can take a picture of this menu and I can just ask it simply the question about the food that I may be interested in. Maybe I want a burger, maybe I want a salad, maybe I want some soup. So that's what I'm going to show you guys a demonstration. I'm first going to take a picture of this menu with my device, and then I'm going to start asking some questions. What is this? What are the different food options?
You might need to know that we're not able to hear the device talking.
Oh, thank you. You cannot hear my device? Or is
No,
it just
I cannot
low?
hear it at all. Can't hear it at all.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Can you hear it on low or you hear absolutely nothing?
Audio now unmuted.
Nothing. Zero sound at all. Just a little click, click kind of there. And then that.
But you hear my voice, obviously, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to try connecting real quick to a speaker so I can enhance the sound for you guys.
And while she's doing that, I will add, everybody that registered will receive a follow-up email. All the contact information for our presenters will be in there. They're at their phone number and email, as well as their name and company. So you can reach out and get in touch with them.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. You're welcome.
I'm going to do a test round. Somebody let me know.
Nothing.
Nothing. That is
don't
so
hear a thing.
strange.
And I guess you're hearing it.
Oftentimes, Zoom has noise canceling depending on the microphone you're using.
There's something going on.
Press again to power on. Audio now unmuted.
Yeah, so there is a bit of voice coming in there. Don't know how much.
I'm so sorry, guys. I did not. We tested if we could hear my voice, but I guess I did not test the device.
Okay.
MIDI SPK connected. Volume up.
Do you guys hear that?
Yes, we're hearing it now. Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Thank you.
Beautiful. Okay, the only thing is that was not the correct device. That was my MyEye device. I'm still having trouble with the read. So I might just switch over, but I'm going to give a little bit of an explanation of what the read can do. I'm going to continue just by explaining, if that's okay with everybody, so we can move on. So essentially what I was doing when I took a picture of this menu, I can communicate with my device in free language. So I was going to ask things like, hey, first of all, what is this? It told me that it was a menu. I can then ask questions like, what are the different food options? It would start to tell me, hey, there's burger options, salads, soups. And then I could say, okay, great. Now, what are the burger options? It's going to list me those burger options. It can even do things like, okay, how much does the burger cost? How many calories are in that? I can ask really intuitive kind of questions. And the beautiful thing about this is it's free-flowing language. I don't have to say a specific command to get it to operate in a certain way. I can just simply ask it however I please, and the device will communicate back to me, which is just, it's really great, and it's really gives people a lot of free options to get the information that they need from the various texts that they're reading. Another example I was going to give you guys is like something like this food label box, right? I have a small box here, very tiny nutrition label. I can say, hey, if I have calorie concerns or anything like that, I can say, okay, great. Can you tell me about how many carbs or fats or is there sodium in this product? Things like that. I can just simply ask whatever I need and the device will let me know. And this is all being done mobily, right? So I don't have to be connected to to a computer or anything like that like some of our other devices that I'll be sharing with you later. So to move on to keep us going, I'm now going to switch over to our Orcam MyEye. Does anybody have any quick questions about the Orcam Read 5?
Yes, could you describe it?
Absolutely. So what it looks like is it's going to be about the size of a large Sharpie. On the top of the device, I've got 4 very tactile buttons. I have a circular button that's going to be our trigger button. That's how I was taking pictures earlier. I push that button, it'll snap a picture. Then I have 2 buttons for volume control and for navigation control. They feel like a plus symbol and a minus symbol. And then I have one more button that is a rectangular button, and that's my power button to turn the device on and off. On the front of my device, it's a flat edge, and that's where my camera is. That's the edge that I point at various things to take a picture. I do have a charging port. You can charge it. It's going to charge for up to, it will give you a charge for up to 4 hours. And then I have a jack as well. So if you ever wanted to plug in a pair of wired headphones to the device, you absolutely can. And you can listen privately, or you can listen privately via Bluetooth. Cost. Okay, so this device, the Orcam Read 5, is $2,790. Now that does come with, there are some other features where you can connect if you want it to be a little bit more stationary. We can put it into a stand. That price does include a stand and then an external speaker as well. So that comes, it's a little bit of a package that it comes all with.
Oh, the audio now unmuted. Currently
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm hearing impaired, and I didn't know what you called. You said Orcam what? Starts with an R, but I couldn't make out. Can you spell
Sure.
it?
It's the Orcam Read 5.
Read by?
Read, R-E-A-D 5.
Yeah, barely.
The number 5.
The number 5. Okay.
Yep.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you.
Of course. Any other questions? Okay.
Yeah, I have a question. Oh,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, does it have any kind of context? So like if I take a picture of say a menu, or okay, if I take a picture of your menu, if I ask like it to compare 2 options, would it be able to like compare, is there more calories in the bacon burger or the regular burger? I don't know, like can you ask it to compare the items at all?
Yeah. So what you could do is you could absolutely say, you could say what you just said. How many calories is in the bacon burger versus the cheeseburger? And it does have the ability to think in that way. I know when I was preparing for this presentation, I was doing some sample material. I even was having it do some simple math for me. I said, hey, if I get the bacon burger with the soup, what is my total bill? And it was able to add the 2 prices together. So it absolutely can do a little bit more deeper work and think like that.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I mention something?
We got 2 going. Ahead. Someone take it first.
The lady can go first.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay, thank you. Real quick, how many photos does it hold?
Great question. So we do not actually store any photos, and that's mainly for security purposes. If you are taking pictures of sensitive information, maybe some banking information, or maybe you work in an office where, sensitive patient information can't be shared anywhere, our devices don't store anything, so that keeps your information secure. So once you are done with a session, that picture's gone forever. If you wanted to come back to that picture, you would just simply need to take a new picture of that text.
Thank you.
Okay. And then the next question.
Next.
I have a question.
Sorry, yeah.
Okay, you go, sir.
Ahead.
No,
okay,
you go, sir, please.
All right, thank you. It might be useful if you were to talk about the different uses for the handheld read device and the camera mounted on your glasses device, because I know that it's a point, and you've got to have a pretty good idea of where it is that you're going to find something to read if you're looking for a sign, that sort of thing. So that's one of the reasons why it's not quite as expensive as the other piece of equipment. The other one can do much more for people who can't see at all.
Yes,
Would you
absolutely.
talk about those differences, please?
Yeah, absolutely. How about when I give the demo of the wearable device, I will start with the differences and we'll dig into that once I get into the next part of the demo. Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Okay, and we had one more question.
Yes, ma'am. What is the size of that Read 5? Is it like as big as an iPad or a tablet, like a sheet of paper or something?
Yeah, so it's actually, so if you think of a extra large Sharpie or like a fat Sharpie, it's about that size. So it's something that you hold in your hand, and then you would point it at whatever text you're trying to read. And what, something that we can do is really go to work on finding the center of that page, right? Then we're going to pull, we go to work on getting our page or our device lined up, pulling our hand back a few inches, snapping a quick photo. Now, that's something to consider. Are you comfortable getting the paper lined up, or would you like something like we're going to go into on our next portion that's a little bit more, that's the wearable device?
I don't know. I've never seen any of these before. Is this particular item more for people with some eyesight? Because like I'm totally blind, and
sure.
And what if you take a picture and you don't get the whole page? Because a totally blind person's gonna not really know. And what if the menu or something else is upside down?
Yeah. So it does. So our devices, the Read device, it does have the ability to read upside down. Our MyEye device that I'm going to go into next would give you some cues that talk to saying, hey, that your text seems upside down. It does try and direct you a little bit. And it really just comes down to personal preference. I'd say if we had to put like a general rule of thumb on it, our MyEye device is better for somebody with total vision loss, and our Read device is better for somebody that may have, that's low vision or still has some functional vision left. That's a very generalized rule. I don't think that, it's a one size fits all for either or. I mean, absolutely. If you were to get the Read device, the training that you would, go to work on your skills is really, okay, how am I going to learn how to line this up properly so I can get the text that I need read to me. So I definitely see it being used with both, but it's a personal preference thing.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Of course. And that's why it's so important that we do things like this, right? I'm talking about products. You're going to hear about some wonderful, great products later. And it really just comes down to what tool is going to be the best for your needs. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move on here. Hey, Ron, can you give me a time check? How much time do I have left?
You got about 15 minutes.
Okay, great. Good.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, so what I'm moving on to next is our wearable device. And so this is called our Orcam MyEye. This device is about the size of a lipstick container. It's about the length of my pinky. It's nice and small. It's 0.7 ounces because we made it very nice and light because it is going to be worn on a pair of glasses and on your face. We didn't want it to weigh your face down. You can attach it to any glass that you prefer. We just provide you with a mounting kit so you can put it onto a pair of glasses, either that you already own, or if you do not wear glasses, we'll actually provide you a pair of glasses, which is what I use because I don't wear glasses myself. So I now have the glasses here, the prop glasses. They're just a non-prescription pair of glasses. I wear the device on my right-hand side because I'm right-handed. So I'm going to go ahead and put the device on my glass now, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the glass on my face. Now, the outside of the device, whereas our other device had some tactile buttons that we're pushing, the outside of this device has a very thin bar that we call our touch bar. That's how we're going to interact with the device. We're going to do various tapping and swiping gestures to get it to operate for us. And then I can also do some other gestures like using my finger to point at things that I'm trying to read text. I can give a verbal command as well, maybe if I don't want to interact with the device by touching it or anything like that. So there's a few different ways that we can get the job done. And the job is we need to take a picture of whatever text we're trying to read, so that way it can analyze it and read it back to us. So I'm going to show you how we do that. We can go back. I'll go back to my menu here. So I have my menu. Now, the most important thing when I'm trying to take a picture of text is I want to make sure that this document, whatever I'm reading, is in front of me and is lined up. A lot of people want to turn their head to the right to have it lined up properly. You don't necessarily need to do that. Wherever your nose is pointing is the perfect angle for where you should be looking at your whatever text you're trying to read. So I have my menu here. I have my nose pointing towards the center of this menu, and I have the paper about arm's length away from me. I'm now going to take my right pointer finger. I'm going to tap on the side of the device. Oh, I got to wake it up. I'm sorry.
MIDI SPK connected.
We can hear that, right?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, we're going to start again. I'm going to tap the side of the device and have it read to me.
To go menu, Applebee's, grill, bar, appetizers, boneless wings 990, minus 1,110 cal, 9.99 brew pub pretzels and beer cheese dip 1,200 calories, 7.99 crunchy onion rings 1,250 calories, 7.49 mozzarella sticks 800.
Now I stopped it by tapping this side of the device again. A few notables that I want to point out here. The device here is now reading this menu verbatim. So it's starting at the top. It read every single line item. It's going to start reading. I don't know if you noticed, it said 990 minus 1,110. Now, this is a very great practical example of how the device operates, right? Right now, it doesn't have the power of AI, so it can't really think the way that the other device was. So it's reading it verbatim. It doesn't know that, hey, this is a menu, and that's a calorie range, right? 990 to 110, 1,110 cals. It also, there's no dollar signs on this menu, so it's going to read it verbatim, 9.99. You know that it's a menu, so you know, hey, that's probably the price, right? Whereas with the AI assistant on the other device, because it can do a little bit of thinking, it can make assumptions that says, hey, this is a menu, those are probably prices, that's probably a calorie range. So that's kind of the difference that's there. But if you know right now, like how I'm using my device, how my device operates, it's a good thing to keep up expectations that it's going to read it verbatim. There's no dollar signs, so it's going to read it as a decimal point versus saying $9.99. It's a great practical explanation. All right, another thing that I can do is I can actually point at my device and get it to start reading to me as well. So if I didn't want to tap the device, I can point, or I can give a verbal command. So I'm going to show you guys that now. Hey, Orcam, read everything.
To go menu, Applebee's, grill, bar, appetizers, boneless wings 990, 1,110 calories, 9.99 brew pub pretzels and beer cheese dip 1,200 calories.
So to stop it this time, I actually just put my hand out in front of me. And once it sees my hand, all 5 of my fingers, that communicates to my device, stop talking. So it's very gesture driven. And how I'm going to be operating my device. And those are the types of things that you would learn if in training, if you were to get one of these devices, you'll learn how all those quirks and how they operate. Another couple things that this device has is it has, now this is where we're talking about the differences between the other device and this device. So this device also has facial recognition. So if you have people that walk up to you, and you wanted the device to announce who those people are, the device, you can pre-record, save up to 100 of your friends and family's faces, and it's going to let you know. So I'm going to have the device, I'm going to put the camera view of my face because it does know my face. Jessica, and I've pre-recorded, pre-saved my face on the device. And so it let me know, hey, Jessica's in front of you. If it does not recognize the people that are there, it may just say, there's a person in front of you, there's a man or there's a woman, but either way, it's going to let you know who those individuals are, or if there is an individual in front of you. If you want it, this is a setting that can be customized. We can turn this off if you don't want it. You can only have it announce faces that you know. You can have it only announce faces of anyone. It's really your preference. That's something that you can absolutely customize. In practicality, I think the way I see this feature most used, you know, your spouse or your family, you may not necessarily want it to go off every time your spouse comes into the room. Or your family is probably already pretty trained on announcing themselves, saying, hey, Jessica's here in front of you. You know, we've got those people in our inner circles pretty trained. But where I see customers the most, it's like, hey, I would really like to know when my gardener's at my door, right? So maybe that's a good face to put in there. Or when I'm at church and a certain person walks up to me, I really want to know when that person's in there. So that's where I see it a little bit more practical. Some people do like to put everybody in there, you know, but it's really up to you. And again, something that can be completely personalized. The device can also do some other things like recognize currency. So if you're ever getting change back and you want to know, hey, did I get the correct bill back? The device can recognize currency. It can do some color recognition as well. And then also barcodes. So we have over 2 million barcodes that are stored in the device. And so the device can actually just let you know, hey, that looks like your Jell-O instant pudding. You can also save barcodes in this device as well. So you can, just the same way you saved a face, you can store up to 100 barcodes in case it's not in our database, if that's something that's a feature that could be useful to you. And our newest feature is a feature called What's in Front of Me. So what the device will do, this portion of the device does have to be connected to Wi-Fi as well. But everything else that I've said up until this point you did not require the use of Wi-Fi. But again, because we just released our new app that I talked about in the beginning, you're seamlessly connected. If you're connected to your, you know, you have your phone with you, then the device is going to connect wirelessly. So I see a question here. Can you use a screen reader? Like, oops, I'm sorry.
Never Fairchild. Skip.
I was trying to read. Is there a fair? Yeah, I see it. It picked up Neva's name. So there is a feature that I will talk about here in just a second, where we're actually connected to the computer. If you do need to be connected to the computer, you can use, it is compatible with any software that you already use on your computer, JAWS, Zoom Text, and then on your, for the app, it is compatible with the software. I'm sorry, I'm blanking. What is the app that VoiceOver, with VoiceOver in different systems like that? Does that answer your question?
Elisa?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, it does.
What's that?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
Okay, beautiful. And so I'm going to show you guys an example of the what's in front of me. What this feature does is it's going to give me a brief description of my environment. This is a feature we've been working on for quite some time. And then they've actually just improved. We just got a recent software update. So it has gotten a little bit better. It's giving us a little bit more description, and I can actually communicate with my device to ask some more in-depth questions. So how I'm going to activate this device or this feature is I'm simply just going to say, hey, Orcam, what's in front of me?
A laptop screen displaying a video conference with multiple participants. Positioned on a desk in a room with a doorway and wall calendars. For further details, say question and ask your question. To exit, say exit.
Question, are the lights on in the room?
No.
Question, is there a doorway in front of me?
Yes.
Question, are the light switches on the wall near me?
I am listening.
Question, are the light switches on the wall near me?
Yes.
Exit?
Exiting.
And so that's going to be the what's in front of me feature. Definitely better than when we first released it. It's getting a little bit more descriptive. I can ask some more questions with it. It's not going to be as detailed. I know there's some other scene descriptors out there that give a lot more detail. Ours is just a little bit more simplified. It's just a little bit more simplified, yeah. So and then lastly, so the last feature that I'm going to talk about is our newest feature. Again, this feature is something that you have to be connected to Wi-Fi to use. Now, if I were to take this device off and I were to plug it into my stand and connect it to my computer, I can do some of the high-tech AI features that I talked about with the Read 3. Now with the Read 5. With the Read 5 though, you can do it out and about. I'm not connected to anything. With the MyEye feature, you're actually connected to a computer screen. And so if there's anybody that, or if there are any low vision users, maybe someone that wants to use some magnification feature, you can use the feature. We are not a magnifier, but it is something that's on there, or you can use the AI assistant. So I'm going to show you guys that briefly. And to do that, I need to share my screen. Or you know what? Let's see if this sound works.
While you're doing that, Jessica, one quick question. We have in the chat, there's a question, are you able to use other screen readers with this device?
Yep, so for the screen, yeah, so any screen reader or software program that you currently use, our device is compatible if it was needed.
Okay, great. The next question is the cost for the device.
Yep, so for the MyEye, it's $4,250. Now we do have two versions of the MyEye. We're going to have the MyEye version 2, which is everything I just talked to you about. And then we also have the MyEye version 3. They're actually going to be the exact same price, but they're going to have this additional feature on them, which is going to be the our casting feature, where we can use our AI assistant as well. So I'm going to show you guys that real quick.
This is
yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Do any of these devices you're showing have the way to get updates, like on AI and other things?
Yeah, great question. So all of our updates come when you connect your device to Wi-Fi. You just need to connect once to your home Wi-Fi. Then now every time you go, you plug into your charger. It will automatically connect to Wi-Fi. And if there are any software updates to be had, they will be automatically pushed to the device. The device will just start downloading them as soon as it's connected.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course, yep. I'm going to share my screen real quick. What I have up here now on my screen is if my device was plugged into my computer via a data cable, I can use this additional feature, our cast feature. I'm just going to bring up a file here. I can either do a live capture of a file, or I can bring up a file that's already on my, if I wanted to bring a file that's already on my computer screen, maybe someone emailed me something, I can do that here. Someone's going to have to let me know if the sound comes through. So if somebody could get ready for that. Do you hear that beeping?
No, ma'am.
Ooh.
No.
And no sounds now?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No.
I am not familiar with sharing on Zoom. I'm usually on a different program. Okay.
when you hit screen share, you also have to enable share audio.
Okay, go back here. Share sound, there we go. You hear that?
Yes.
Here is a brief summary of
loud,
the text.
loud and clear.
Recipient, Southern California Edison customer. Subject, electricity bill. Total amount due, $175.48 by the 17th of July, 18. Summary, billing details, new charges, automatic debit information, and billing rate change effective the 6th of January, 2018. Based on the summary, would you like more details about the new charges on the bill?
How much was my total amount due?
The total amount due on your bill is $175.48, and it should be paid by the 17th of July, 18.
What if my payment is late?
If the payment is late, there might be late fees or possible service interruption. Always pay on time.
How do I pay my bill?
You can pay your bill by visiting www.sce.com or by contacting 1-800-974-2356 for billing and service inquiries.
Beautiful. I'm going to stop it now here. But again, going back to, I'm using this free-flowing language to ask whatever questions I need, pull out that information, and have the device let me know, really it's the most important info that I'm trying to get. I'm going to do one more example real quick here. Let's do a recipe.
Here is an overview of the text. Recipes for peanut butter oatmeal chocolate chip cookies and chocolate caramel cake mix cookies. Instructions, ingredients, and methods are given for both cookie types. Which recipe are you more interested in? Peanut butter oatmeal chocolate chip cookies or chocolate caramel cake mix cookies?
I'm more interested in the peanut butter cookies. What temperature do I need to set the oven to?
You need to set the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit for the peanut butter oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. Would you like the full recipe or more details?
I need to make this recipe vegan. Ooh. You cut me off.
Peanut butter oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. Ingredients: 2 cups.
I need to make this recipe vegan. What changes do I need to make?
For the peanut butter oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, use vegan butter and egg replacer. Ensure the chocolate is dairy-free.
So I give that example because not only is it able to pull out the information from the text that's seen there, again, it can go beyond that. In this feature, it has the ability to do thinking or to go on to outside sources to gather information to give me the answers that I need. So that is the power of that AI assistant at work, being able to do some more high functioning features. And, we have a little bit more advancement with this feature and using this feature. And so, yeah, the main difference, this is going to be on any of our version 3. So a MyEye 3 or a Read 3. Now, currently I am connected to my computer. I'm on a web browser to go to this site. It's called cast.orcam.com. And I'm using all that. It's a little bit more stationary. If I wanted to use that AI assistant out and about in the wild, not connected to my computer, that would be our Read 5. We currently do not offer that in the MyEye feature just yet. That is something that R&D is working on and hope to be, releasing in the future. Any questions here?
Yes. This is Nita Fairchild.
Hi there.
Hi. If I leave my MyEye connected to Wi-Fi through the app, and I'm at home and it's connected to Wi-Fi, am I zapping my battery? Do I need to disconnect when I'm not ready to update?
So I would stay connected, because if you wanted to use like the what's in front of me feature, you would need to be connected. But that being said, yes, anything you're using on the device, it could be, using your battery. You could put it to sleep though. All you do is you simply push that power button once, and that's going to set your device to sleep. That's going to reserve battery for you.
I thought that what's in front of me used the Orcam app on my phone, not the Wi-Fi.
So to use the what's in front of me feature, you just have to be connected to Wi-Fi. If you're not connected to Wi-Fi, it's not going to operate.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, but you can connect to Wi-Fi on your phone to make it a little bit easier. Before, connecting to Wi-Fi was kind of a cumbersome process. You had to go to a website, put in your username and info, scan this QR code, and then it would connect to Wi-Fi. What's so great about the app is all you do is simply pair. You open the app, it'll say, would you like to pair to your MyEye? You say yes. Now you're paired, and then because your phone's connected to Wi-Fi, your device is connected to Wi-Fi. So it's a little easier now.
Great, thank you.
So that would include use of the hotspot?
Yeah, so it's now actually pulling the Wi-Fi front, like it's just connecting from the devices are just seamlessly connected. Yeah. So if you have a hotspot or you have data on your phone, it's going to just connect to whatever it can pull from your phone.
Jessica, this is Ron. Thank you. And if there's any more questions, we have time for one more quick question. If you want to get in touch with Jessica, like I say, you will receive a follow-up email with her contact information. All right. Any last question? All right. Thank you very much, Jessica. I really appreciate the effort you made to be here, because this has been a work in progress. She had to clear her schedule to make it here today. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for having me. It was great to be with you guys.
All right. So next up, we have Bob Roehm from Envision. And Bob, I'm going to turn this right over to you. You have the mic, sir.
Great. Am I unmuted?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Very good. Well, thank you all for being here on a warm Saturday, Texas afternoon. My name is Bob Roehm. I'm with Envision Technologies. Just for people who are in the group that don't know me, I am visually impaired. I only have light perception, and I've been on this journey for many, many years. So I've had the opportunity to use a lot of assistive technology, from magnification and CCTVs to video magnifiers, all the way to software packages, and now the big growing assistive technology are wearables. And those are basically devices that you put on your head. A lot of them call them glasses. Some devices do have some magnification capability, but in this session today with the Orcam and the Envision, these are speech devices primarily, so they talk to you. And with the last couple of years, Envision has dedicated itself to AI integration with our devices. And for those who are a little unfamiliar with AI, AI is basically machine learning. Every time an individual uses AI, we're actually teaching the software new things, new documents, new images, that type of thing. So we're actually helping it work better for the future. And the two primary technologies that that Envision has integrated into our devices is called the language model, which is based on text, and the vision model, which is based on objects and images. And if anybody's familiar with GPT, there's Chat GPT and there's Vision GPT. Those are the engines that we currently use in addition to open source AI to basically make the artificial intelligence in the glasses work correctly and work quickly. Now, I want to step back just a little bit and talk about assistive technology. In assistive technologies, it's a wide group of systems and procedures to basically overcome people's perception losses. A lot of people don't realize this, but Braille was the first assistive technology that was developed. Then we had white canes, and we've continued to develop it into magnifiers. And now with electronics, we now have electronic assistive technology, which is basically really bridged the gap between our perception loss and what sighted people normally take it for advantage. And with that in mind, a good rating or grading of assistive technology is three basic areas and how they perform. How fast can you get the information? How accurately can you get the information? And how easily can you get the information? Those particular areas, the better you can be in each one of those areas, the better return on investment for what you pay for in assistive technology to help you with your work and your independent skills. So with that in mind, Envision basically we're a 5-year-old company. Our founders are in the Netherlands, and they basically were university students getting their masters in computer science and computer design. So they used blind students in the university as beta testers for our devices. So basically to describe it, and again, for those people who can see, basically this is the Envision system. And the only reason we call them smart glasses is that the glasses are a way to keep them attached to your head. But Envision does not provide any kind of vision enhancement. All right, so I just want to make that clear. A lot of people get confused. You say glasses and they think that it's going to make you see better. But what the Envision system does with the built-in legacy technology and the advanced AI technology basically interprets the world around you and provides you information faster, more accurately, and more easily than any other wearable device today. Now, with this particular example, again, for the ones that are cited, the frames can be taken off and interchanged. The frames basically, which I have here in my hand, we do require you use one of our 4 frames because the hinge is an electronic hinge, and I'll get into that when we get to the device. But
hey, Bob,
the ability.
Bob,
yes,
Bob, it's Ron. You're acting like you've got your video on, but it's off.
Oh, okay, I'll turn it on right now.
Yes, sir. Just want to let you know I you're
Can you
sharing
see me now? Can you see me now?
Video on. Yes, sir.
Sorry to say yes.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Go
I don't know how that
Bob.
happened because it must have been the host turning everybody's video off, but
right.
I had that. So we'll continue. Now, again, these are one of our pair of our glasses. We can put in a wide variety of lenses. You can have shaded lenses from 1% blockage up to 99% blockage. We can put transition lenses in. We can put in trifocals, bifocals, monocular. We can even have prisms installed to the lenses. So there is no limit to what we can put in our frames, okay? And the frames, there are 3 designer frames, and the one that I prefer is the wired rim because it's very light and very comfortable, especially in high humidity areas. You basically don't even know that you have the device on. Now, the device itself weighs about 3.5 ounces, and it does replace the right temple arm of what you would consider your regular glasses or sunglasses. It contains a 5-hour rechargeable battery, which has a 5-year lifetime. It does have a built-in speaker but that sits behind your ear. In front of your right ear is what we have, the touchpad, which is very similar to your touch screen on your smartphones, which you basically use voiceover gestures to basically control the device manually. At the very front, we have a high definition video camera. And then behind that, we have our microphone. And then on the top of the device, where the hinge goes, where the hinge is, where it's attached to the glasses, is our microphone button. And we chose basically to require the user to push the button to turn the microphone on because of the inherent issues we have with Siri and other devices that tend to go off when they hear similar words to their key voice command word. So, but this hinge right here is basically what we do to use our voice commands and also to ask questions when we're using the built-in technology or the advanced assistive intelligence, which we'll get into. Now, inside the device, you have 36 gigabytes of memory. You have a high-speed 5G Wi-Fi chip and a multi-channel Bluetooth chip. So with our device, you can be connected anywhere you want wirelessly. Now, it does use a USB-C for charging, and you can have it connected in case you go beyond the 5-hour charge time of the battery and continue using it at the same time. Okay. Now, for those people who do have limited vision, can see up close, there is a small display in front of the right eye. And that can basically be used. You can see menus, you can see icons. At certain applications, you can see the video feed. And also, you can see text scrolling across when it's reading in certain reading modes. So it does have a visual component to it. However, the majority of our users are going to be low functioning partials or blind people. Okay. However, we do have some folks out there that have better vision, low vision, that like to utilize the artificial intelligence for getting information quickly and easily. Okay. Now, with that much said, the device has 19 tools. It has more tools than any other wearable available today outside of magnification. Okay. And those tools can be divided into 3 broad groups. We have the reading group, we have the object and image group, and then we have the video communications group. Okay. Now, to start off with video communications, basically, if you want to actually make a video call with someone, in fact, I'm gonna step back just a little bit. I'm gonna talk about the apps that you can get without the glasses. We do presently have 3 apps that are available to people. We have the Envision AI app, which you can get on the App Store or the Play Store. And you can download and you can get about 2/3 of all the features of the entire system at no cost. Okay. Again, it's called Envision AI. It's all one word. And again, that's available on the App Store or the Android Play Store. Okay. Then we have the Envision, and we've relabeled it, Companion app. And that is intended for your sighted friends and family or colleagues so that you can make them your video buddy and they can receive calls when you need them, when you make the call from the glasses. Okay. And then we now have a 3rd app. It's called Envision Assistant, which is the foundation of our future developments, having an AI bot assistant that you can basically converse to with natural language. You can personalize the device with your own bio and your and a defined personality of how you want the device to behave. And it will be ubiquitous. So it will be available on every single platform that's out there right now, including, as I said, iOS, Android, as well as PC and OS X. Okay. So with that in mind, continue on with the specific tools. Now we have in our reading suite, we have 3 reading tools that are built into all of our devices. We have one that's called Scan Text, and then we have one called Instant Text, and then we have one called Batch Scan. Now, the instant text, and by the way, there are 3 features that don't require any internet connection. So if you don't have an internet connection, you could use instant text, you could use a scan text, you can use recognize currency, recognize colors, and also detect light. So those features do not require an internet connection, but the accuracy of those features improves dramatically and also opens up a lot of additional accessory features to the reading features when you do have an online connection, okay? And I'll get into what the online connections can be. But the reading instant text is pretty phenomenal. It's the closest thing to mimicking natural vision for a person walking down a street, walking in an airport, maybe a conference, possibly a stadium, anywhere where there's printed text on billboards, on signs, on storefronts, even on buses passing by at high rates of speed. Basically, you turn your video camera on, it's a live video, and it has instant text to speech. So it's instant text and speech from live video. So literally, as you're walking down the street, it'll read all street signs instantly. It'll read all billboards, storefronts. It is pretty incredible. And for people that have never seen in their lives, they kind of, it's an information overkill because they didn't realize how much text there is in a city or a suburb in the world around them. But it's there basically for hands-free, instant text to speech on demand. Okay. And again, driving down the road, you can just look out the window and it'll read billboard signs, what have you, does not matter. It's instantly converting that speech to text from live video. Now, the second reading mode is our scan text. And when you're in the online mode, what scan text allows you to do is it allows you to read upside down or right side up. And that does have smart guidance, so it does tell you how to hold the documents or how to position your head so that you get the entire document in the static picture that you take. It will read 38 languages seamlessly. It will read handwriting, also cursive and printing in those 38 languages as well. It also allows you to translate on the fly. And also allows you to save the document quickly and easily, and you can basically export the text from the glasses to your dashboard on your connected smart device, whether that's a tablet or a smartphone, and soon that we will have with your PC. And that's all done wirelessly. And once you do that, once you export that document, you can then share it with people or share it with other devices. So in essence, you do have a portable wireless scanner that allows you to capture documents and important messages and saving them if you so desire. If you don't want to, you can just basically stop the session, erase it from memory, and it's gone forever until you rescan the document. Okay. Now, the last reading mode is basically scan text on steroid. Basically allows you to scan 2 pages, 5, 10, 15. We've had one user scan an old textbook, actually an old novel that wasn't in the Gutenberg library of 600 pages. And he basically just went through and scanned every single page. And then you could go back and start reading it 1 page at a time. And then at that point, if you wanted to, you could then export that entire book to your dashboard. And then at that point, you could read it in your dashboard, or you could then share it with another device and save it permanently. So it is quite an advanced suite of reading capabilities. And then we have the language model of artificial intelligence on top of that. And again, Jessica basically explained that pretty quickly and easily. Our interface is slightly different. And of course, we all love our utility bills. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a picture and show you how scan text works and how it tells you to guide the document. and then I'll just jump in and just start asking questions similar to what Jessica did. But what I'm going to do is this is all going to be done within the device. I don't have to be connected to anything. And all I have to do is, and I'm going to use a voice command to start it. So I'm going to basically push the button and I'm going to say, scan text.
Opening scan text.
I'm going to hold it incorrectly so it can tell me how to hold it.
Document up or your head down. Document up or your head down.
And again, I'm going to position it, and it's now taking a picture and look for the four corners. And now it's processing it. And I'm just going to stop it. It'll read line by line if I want to, but it's getting processed in the servers right now. And okay, so I'm going to instantly pause it, or I could read it line by line. And now I'm going to ask it to describe this document.
Excuse me, Bob.
Yes.
Can I ask you to turn the volume up of the device?
Okay. Can you hear that now?
It's a little better.
Okay, let me do it real quick here.
Center point energy.
All right.
Finger swipe down again to exit. Export text. Home.
I'm going to go ahead and change volume.
Hey Bob Roehm, your Envision Glasses Demo Edition are currently on version 2.
Okay, so I'm going to say change volume.
Opening change volume. Change volume 100%.
Okay, I'm at 100% now. So I'll just make sure that I'm a little closer to my microphone. And this is one time that Zoom has not picked up my device. So let me ask you, can you all hear this?
It is 2:07 p.m. Today is Saturday, the 21st of September. Battery level is at 96%. You are currently
I can hear it,
CQSVIK.
but I don't know if everyone will.
Well, if one person can hear it, that means it's going through. However, if people have hearing aids,
no, that's not acceptable. You need to turn the volume up more, please.
I'm sorry?
Please turn the volume up more for those of us that might not hear as well as you folks.
The volume is turned up all the way.
Thank you.
So it's bottom line is that if you could turn your hearing aids up to be any further, that would probably be the best bet to do. But I assume that most people can hear it. And I'm very sorry that you're unable to. But I'll start again with...
Bob, it might be helpful if you turn the speed down a little bit. Make it easier for people to understand.
Sure.
Oh. Settings. Audio.
And...
Change volume. Change speed. 20%. 15%.
How's that?
I wouldn't... Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay.
I think.
Change speed.
Now I can change the voice to, I have 14 different voices I can choose from, but most people can understand Samantha the best.
Audio.
Okay.
Settings. Home.
Okay.
Scan text.
So I'm going to take another picture again, and I'll try to get close after the picture's taken.
Document down or your head up. Move document up or your head down.
Okay. And again, I'll get up close and personal with my microphone.
Silver Ziploc. Orcam. Insurance. Heading. Center point.
Okay, so I'm going to describe this document.
Envision is answered. This document is a utility bill or statement from CenterPoint Energy, a gas service provider. It includes details such as account number, customer information,
So I'm going to say it.
Gas charge.
What is the amount due?
Envision is $32.20.
When is it due?
Envision is the payment is due on September 22nd, 2022.
I'm late. What is the method to pay?
Envision is you can pay your bill online, by phone, in person, or by mail.
What is the phone number?
Envision is customer service phone numbers are 713-659-2111 or 800-752-6036.
Now, I can
continue asking a question about this document, press and hold the hinge button. Do a one-finger swipe down to go back to the reader.
Now, I do have that information in my clipboard, so I can basically rewind.
Customer service phone numbers are 713-659-2111.
And I can pause that so I can call the number up and I'm on hold because my payment is late. It's basically 2 years late. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find out what my account number is while I'm on hold. What is my account number?
Envision is your account number is 3,814,249.3.
Okay, so I'm going to now say, what is my account number read one single digit at a time?
Envision is 38142,493.
Great. So now it's in my memory of my clipboard. When the agent comes online, I can give them my account number just by swiping backwards, rewinding. And then get to pay my bill immediately. Now, that is the magic of artificial intelligence, basically using a natural language algorithm. You don't have to use a specific string of text. All you do is you ask a question and the AI understands the meaning of your question and focuses in on the information from that document. Now, the nice thing about open source AI, which we're using, you can ask questions that have nothing to do with the document or may not be contained in the document. So I'm going to ask a question, and just to show you how wide of questions I can ask it, I'm going to ask it this. What is a hypersonic cruise missile?
Envision is a hypersonic cruise missile is a type of missile that can travel at speeds exceeding Mach 5, which is 5 times the speed of sound, allowing it to cover great distances in a very short period of time.
Now, basically,
asking a question about this document.
That has nothing to do with the document at all. It's open source, and you can ask it questions. Anything that's available on the internet, the device will answer for you, such as, how about this? What is the address for the University of Houston main campus?
Envision is the address for the University of Houston main campus is 4800 Calhoun Road, Houston, Texas 77004, United States.
Okay, so now I want to know, what is the main telephone number for the University of Houston main campus?
Envision is the main telephone number for the University of Houston. Main campus is 713-743-2255.
Okay, so there we go. So basically, that is the power of the language model of artificial intelligence. It'll help you. Now, if I had a 50-page document, I could easily just ask it to describe that document, go over the main topics, and I can even jump to a paragraph and have it read that paragraph for me quickly, simply, and easily, just by using a verbal interface that's totally wireless, self-contained in the device itself. Okay. Now, I do also have other features, and I'm going to go into those real quickly here. I'm going to
one finger swipe down again to exit.
Now, again, if I wanted to export this, I could easily just tap it. And I'm going to pause this because it's going to start reading. And if I wanted to export this to my device, all I do is tap the side.
Export text.
And it'll tell me.
Double tap to export the text to your Envision app.
So I'm going to double tap.
Text exported successfully.
Now it is in my library of my app. And you can have unlimited number of documents in your library, and you still have all the security and protocols in place for your smartphone as you normally have. And just as a word of caution, if you delete the app from your Envision, from your smartphone, you do erase all of your documents, so they're gone. So you do have security You can get rid of your documents immediately upon reading them, or you could save them and put them in your encrypted, safe, smart app library that's on your dashboard. Okay. Now, other features that the device has, again, is it can be lumped into objects and images. So I can do things like find an object.
Find object.
Bob, a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Can you send things you've saved on your Envision app? Can you send those by email to yourself?
Yes. You have, in fact, that's one of the things I really didn't get into, but once it's in the library, you can share it with other devices or with people, either by emailing or by texting. And you can save and change the format, because it does come in a text form, like with Open Book, but you can save it as a PDF. You could save it as a Word document. Any apps that are on your tablet or smart device that accepts and can import files, the Envision app will export those formats when you change it to that format. Okay? So we have complete interconnectivity with the Envision system. Okay, so now presently I'm on Find Object, and currently we have about 36 separate items you can choose from to have it find. It's very fast and efficient. Right now it's set up for door, but it has all these different items. Stairs.
Traffic light. Bottle.
Chair. I'm going to stop a chair, and I'm going to look around my office.
Chair 10 o'clock.
Now,
Chair 10 o'clock.
It saw the chair, and it gave me an orientation hint that it was at 10 o'clock from the position of the camera, which is basically my face. So it still sees the chair over there. And as I move my head pointing, it tells me it's 11 o'clock. So now it tells me exactly what orientation that empty chair is in. And by the way, if somebody's in that chair, it's not going to say chair. Okay. But it gives you orientation hints to help you guide you to that area. Now, if there is something blocking the view, it's not going to name the object. Okay. So it does not have X-ray vision, but it has a very sharp detection capability with this, because you're selecting only one image or one item. So we have other items besides chair, such as
bench, couch, table, toilet, backpack, coffee cup, laptop, computer keyboard, mobile phone, sink, light switch, dog.
We have a dog in there. Cat.
Sunglasses,
Footwear. So that's basically some of the items that we currently have. And by the way, all of those items in that list are our users' recommendations and suggestions, because you'll find out if you are our Envision user, you can make feature requests all the time. And if enough people ask for a request, they will reposition that request from the wish list and move it up on higher on the list. So we are very much a user-driven company. But that is just find object. And that's using basic AI, not advanced AI. Okay. So now as far as other items it can identify, it'll identify 112 currencies quickly and easily. It can also identify them right side up or backwards at any orientation. It will identify all barcodes, all 45 million. It will read QR codes. It will tell you, it will not, since it doesn't have a browser built in, it will tell you what the URL is of a URL QR code, but it'll also instantly connect you to Wi-Fi's once you show them a QR code. And most people don't realize this, but there is a QR code on the back of all Wi-Fi routers in your homes. All you do is show you that code to the glasses. You'll immediately connect to that Wi-Fi. And then it will also read text QR codes, which in Europe is used quite widely at bus stations, at train stations, and also at buildings. and quickly and easily, it will read the QR code and give it to you in the language that you've selected for the reading feature. But again, it will read in 38 languages automatically, but you can specify a primary reading language if you so desire. It will also identify colors. There are two modes. There's one in 36 color mode and 256 color mode. It will recognize people. You can have 5,000 people in your face library if you so desire. You're not limited at all. You can take unlimited pictures of the same person to improve the facial recognition. Let's see, other things you can, I haven't even gotten to the customization yet, but I will. Let's see, it'll detect light. So you can be in a room and you want to know if there's light is on, you can basically go to detect light and you can actually find out where the light source is by basically moving your face around and it will tell you where the light source is coming from.
Hey, Bob.
Yes.
It's Ron. You got about 5 minutes.
Excellent.
And I know we have one question in chat, and I know we've got someone waiting to ask a question.
Okay. And the last thing is video communications, and I won't get into the scene description because it's it seems that every device has it. You take a picture and you can ask questions, and you can continue asking questions about what's around you, and you can get more and more detailed information. Now, the one thing with our system, it will give you orientation. So if you're trying to get to something, you can ask it, what direction do I need to go in? And it will tell you what direction to go in to get to that door or to get to that chair or to get to that same cell phone that's on a table, okay? Now, the last thing I want to do is I want to go and call an IRA agent. And I will go ahead and say, call an IRA agent.
I did not understand. Please repeat the command.
Call an IRA agent.
Opening call an IRA agent.
Now it's connecting right now.
Connecting to an IRA agent.
And it will give me their name. As soon as it connects. And if you've ever dealt with IRA, sometimes it's a long time, sometimes a short time. Now on this interlude, while we're waiting, I could have
connected to Jalen.
Thank you for calling IRA. This is Jalen speaking. What would you like to do today?
Jalen, if there's any way to increase your volume, that'd be great. I'm showing how IRA can be used on a wearable device. And right now, Jalen, what do you see in front of the glasses?
Right now, I'm seeing, I believe you're in a meeting. And I see the multiple people and their profile pictures. I see that your camera is on at the moment as well.
Yes. So basically, and then you can see, once you describe to the audience my office, you can be brutal.
At the moment, I see a wooden brown desk with a black pulling chair pulled up to it. To the left of it, I see a brown chair as well. Looks like it is on wheels. I see a trash can or a few trash cans that are filled.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, my time is short, Jalen. So again, I just wanted to show them with this one single device. Not only do I have a lot of built-in legacy technologies, I also have artificial intelligence. And if all that fails, I can call a person and get instant help. So thank you very much, Jalen. Okay.
Y'all have a good one.
Got it. Bye-bye.
One finger swipe down again.
Okay. Now I could have called an ally, which is a family friend or colleague. I could have, such as Mark, I could have called Mark Matthews, who is on our call here, and he could have been looking on his smartphone through the video camera of the glasses, and he could talk to me through the speaker of the glasses, and I can talk back to him with the microphone. Okay. So that's the Envision system. We didn't even talk about the future. CPU, conversational, personalization, and ubiquitous. By the end of the year, all you have to do is just talk to the device. You can combine features. You can personalize the device. You can give it your bio so it knows all about your likes and dislikes, your dietary needs. You could probably, you'll be able to even plug in financial information like credit card numbers, other things. And then you can define the personality of the device. So if you want it to be like Robin Williams and be happy and glee and always joking with you, you could set up the profile to be that way. And
we have a chat room question.
Yes.
The chat room question is, how much is the device?
We have 3 devices. The professional that I just was showing you is $34.99. There is the home version, which is $24.99, and the read version, which is $18.99. The difference between the 3 is software license. The Pro, you have unlimited lifetime software license. So every time we come out with a new app, which we are doing so here in the next few months for the conversational app, that's included with the home version is identical the first year. After that, it's a 12-month annual subscription for $200 to continue getting the upgrades and updates. And the read version is basically our read only without the object and image features.
Okay, and I know there's a young man that's dialed in. Rowdy, can you unmute? Anybody know? I don't dial in. What's the
star 6? Star 6 to unmute.
Star 6, Rowdy, unmute yourself there.
Or hide his keypad and there's a mute button on iOS. Unmute.
Okay, Rowdy, can you get unmuted?
Yeah, got it.
All right, there you go, sir.
It's been a while since I've used Zoom. My apologies.
So you had a question?
So with these, yes, sir. So with these glasses, which side is the camera on? My phone kind of cut out, so I didn't hear which side of the glasses the camera was on.
The device replaces the right temple arm of a pair of sunglasses, so it would be on the right side.
Okay. And what were the commands? Like, is there multiple commands, or can you just talk to it like you're having a normal conversation with someone?
Well, there are 3 different versions of voice commands. There are set voice commands to turn on features and to make adjustments to the device. And then there are commands for the artificial intelligence. Basically, that uses a natural language algorithm, so you can just ask it in any way, form whatsoever. And if you're unclear about the question, the AI will say, you need to make yourself clear. Doesn't make any sense.
Gotcha. So I just didn't know if there was like a trigger word, because like I know with some of the things I've seen, you have to say like, you know, like, hey, whatever, like I believe it was Jessica described a while ago with, you know, like, hey, Orcam, or hey, I didn't know if there was like a trigger word for the camera to listen for your voice.
They decided through beta testing that the key commands would go off and it would set off your device into listening mode. So we basically have made it a on-demand customer pressing of the button at the top. So you basically push down one button, turns the microphone on, and then you can also push the button again to turn the microphone off, so it stops listening.
So that's what my next question was about, if it drained battery, but you answered my question now. So I appreciate your answering all my questions.
Yeah, it is a 5-hour battery between charges.
All right. Thank you,
I
Rowdy.
do appreciate it.
And thank you, Bob. I appreciate you joining us today and being part of this with us. And we're pushing 2:30 here. I've got last, but definitely far from least, we've got Captain Kyle Kiper waiting to join us here. Kyle, step right up, brother. You're off.
Here's where the meeting goes off the rails to pull your feet and hands into the car, okay? We're going to move into the wild, wild west here, people. I actually was going to come on here, but wild, wild west, put that on here. But I thought I don't want to push, I don't have too much AI going on here. So I'll introduce myself real quick. It's going to be an interesting 30 minutes here. Thanks to Jessica and Bob, both, my good buddy Bob as well. And I'm glad to see that we all got to witness Bob being put on the NSA watch list for researching hypersonic guided missiles. That's kind of interesting. Just kidding, buddy. My name is Kyle Kiper. I'm not representing anybody. Wasn't for Scout on what organization are you with? I just represent blind people. I'm just a blind guy. I'm a 20-plus year federal and state vocational rehabilitation counselor who's worked all over the country. I work with the U.S. federal government as a counselor. also a owner of a business for the past 23 years, a international travel agency that my wife manages. I've traveled to 51 countries on all 7 continents. I've had a very blessed life, 30 years of marriage with a beautiful woman, and got some kids and some grandkids and all that stuff. And I'm a guide dog handler. I lost my partner a couple of years ago. Fidelco German Shepherd for 10 years, Yuma. And so I know some of you, I'm sure, and I would love to know more of you. My background a little bit more. My family, I come from a multi-generational blind family. We have retinitis pigmentosa in the family as our family treasure we give to each generation. That's very dominant in the family. Tends to hit someone in each generation. Like it skipped through my sister, but it got to her kids, and so my grandfather was blind. Both my parents were blind. My mother was a 30-year rehabilitation teacher. My father was a Texas Commission for the Blind vocational rehabilitation counselor based out of Lubbock at Texas Tech University, where I was born. All my great uncles were blind, and they all worked their entire careers. So blind is the norm in my family. Funny thing is, it doesn't kick in until we're in our late 20s a lot of times. So we all do something really bizarre before we go blind. And so, like me, the military turned me down because they already had seen on my charts that my doctor thought I had RP possibly. So I did what people normally do when you're going to go blind, is I became a firefighter. So it was good to hear my firefighter brother Rowdy on here just now. Rowdy is a volunteer firefighter up in North Texas. I was a paramedic, a metropolitan EMS paramedic in Little Rock, Arkansas. I was a firefighter, and as a captain, Ron mentioned, I was a fire captain before I finished my first career. Went back to school, got overeducated, and became a rehabilitation counselor. So I've been very interested in this technology. I've always loved technology, and I've always been watching the wearables because we needed wearables. Our hands are busy. We're blind people. We're using canes. We're working guide dogs. We need to feel braille. We need, we got stuff in our hands, and so I've been watching the wearables. Actually, the way Bob and I actually met was I was researching Envision glasses. I was looking into buying a pair, especially when I transferred to Waco, Texas, last December. The VA campus where I'm working at right now is vast and wild, and the sighted people are lost. So it's really scary for the blind people. Almost every day somebody comes up to my door and goes, I don't know where building 235 is at. And I'm like, well, you're in building 94. So because everything that looks like a building has a number and it's alike, and they're all mixed up. So I was looking into that. I've looked at Orcam before. When I was in Little Rock, Sharon Giovinazzo, that used to be the director of World Services for the Blind, she wore Orcams everywhere. And she would freak people out all the time walking into the room and going, she and I were both medics. We both have, worked in the rehab field, and she called me my brother from another mother. And she'd walk in the room and go, hey, brother, well, there's 30 people in that room. How did she see me? And I had people say all the time, she must not be really blind. Yeah, she's blind. And they say, no, she could see people and recognize them. I say, so's the Orcam she's wearing. She's programmed into there. And when she looks through the room, it's going, Kyle. And she's going, hey, there's my friend Kyle right over there. So that's a pretty cool thing Orcams do. Anyway, so I just wouldn't pull the trigger. I kept looking into buying these glasses, $1,000, $1,500, $1,800, $3,000, $4,000. I don't mind purchasing something that I'm going to need. And could also have them purchased under vocational rehabilitation, which is the norm, or through insurance or some other route like that. But I just wouldn't pull the trigger. I just kept hesitating. I think I had a bad taste in my mouth from my Horizon glasses years ago with Ira. I think I paid $700 or something, or whatever those were, $800, and then they discontinued them later, and I went, oh. And that's when I started really paying attention to the fact that the technology is advancing so fast that as soon as you purchase some technology, it's almost archaic by a year later. Things are moving so fast that they can update and update and update all they want, but then something else comes out. And so that's where I've been kind of just hesitating on spending my money. So then I'm sitting there looking at something back in June in my apartment, and this word Meta RayBan smart glasses popped up in my voiceover. And I think I was on Twitter or X, whatever they call it now. And I was like, what the what? What is a Meta RayBan? What? So I go and I look at this and I'm like, Meta. Oh, that's Facebook now. Okay, they changed their name. That's right. So I'm looking at this and I go, Ray-Ban. See, my wife has a fashion merchandising degree. She was a buyer at the Walmart headquarters. She was a Dillard store manager. I have to wear Ray-Bans. She pre-picks my clothes out for me. I'm like a Ken doll that doesn't work. The eyes don't work. One doesn't work. I'm like a really bad Ken doll. And she always requires me to wear Ray-Bans for some reason. So I was like, well, that's interesting. So I go and look at this. I go to YouTube and I start looking at YouTube videos. Now, these are sighted people. These are not blind people. And I'm watching sighted people use these. There was a girl running through Manhattan jogging, and she was talking and she was recording a video, and then she uploaded that video to YouTube from her glasses. And I noticed that the sound was really good. And I asked my wife, and she said the video is really good too. And the girl talked about how she can listen to music, she can ask questions to the AI, she can check things, she can do phone calls through her glasses while she's jogging. And I went, well, that's neat. So then I watched another one, and there were two guys. These are all sighted people. And one of the things that caught my attention was that they will translate other languages into English. And I went, wait a minute, what just happened right there? Because I'm thinking, how many times am I in another country? And I'm got fairly decent French skills. I know how to order beer and compliment people in Spanish. That's about it. But otherwise, I'm like, well, if I'm in Finland, that would be pretty cool if these would read a sign to me. And so I was like, well, that's neat. And so I'm keep looking into these now, and I start finding a few blind people who have bought them late June, early July. And I'm like, how much do these cost? And then I went, whoa, $300. Wait a minute. You can come up with $300. Okay, we can do $300. Well, why are they $300? Are they really cheap and they don't do anything that the other stuff does? No, they're universally designed. They're designed for everybody. They're designed for the sighted world. They didn't think about us. They didn't know blind people existed when they designed these. But guess what? They worked for us. So for the first time ever, we've actually accidentally universal design occurred. Something was actually designed and it works for us, even though they didn't even mean it to. And so I started looking more into them, and I was like, where can I buy these at? And I found this Dan Parker, the race car driver, the blind race car driver that has all the Guinness World Records. I think he was the one that turned me on to the Facebook group, Blind Meta AI Smart Glasses Users or something like that. It's easy to find. There's almost 1,000 people on it now, all blind people. And I started reading stuff on there, and people were getting these. It's a wild, wild west. There's no rules. It wasn't designed for us. So there's no nice presentation. There's no nice development. There's no instruction. There's no training. You go out and you buy a pair of these and you're on your own. Go for it. And so we started networking and group sourcing with each other. And then some WhatsApp groups popped up. And some YouTube channels started popping up. What's her name? Connie Hoffman, I think is her name. Gliding Through Blindness or something, I believe is her, something like that is her YouTube handle. She started doing some videos, a blind lady. And now there's a bunch. You can go to YouTube and look up all you want. There's quite a few blind people have made YouTube videos about these, and that WhatsApp group has a lot. A guy named Rick Gatto, Gaddeeau, is an IT guy out there that's a blind guy out of Tallahassee, and he's done quite a bit of work with these and has some WhatsApp groups. So I go ahead and look, where can I buy these? You can buy them through the Meta store. Well, the Meta store for a blind person with voiceover was not fun. That was complicated. So I said, okay, forget that. Where else can I get them? Best Buy. Okay, you can go to Best Buy and buy these? Yeah. So if you want to go test them out, go to Best Buy because they have them at Best Buy and you can go put them on and try them out. The Sunglass Hut at the mall, you remember that place that sells sunglasses? Well, that place has them. Lens Crafters has them if you want to put prescription. Well, you don't have to get prescription, but if you have enough functional vision that you wear prescription lenses, you can have Lens Crafters put prescription lenses in these Meta glasses. They also have the transition lenses, so it's sunglasses to clear and vice versa. I don't have any functional vision, so I just got the cool dark glasses, right? Well, what's the style? So, okay, I'm looking at these and I show them to my wife. And I know what Wayfarers are. That's what they are. This style is the Wayfarers. That's the old Blues Brothers glasses from the old days, right? Turned out, I found out the other day that they were created in 1940, were the first Wayfarers. I had no idea they went that far back. So I'm like, well, that's okay. I could wear the Blues Brothers glasses. I think Tom Cruise rocked these a couple of times in some movies. I think I can do this. And there's another style called a Skylar. which I've come to the conclusion is a more feminine looking. I haven't seen any guys buy them. A lot of ladies are buying them because sometimes their faces are smaller and it fits their faces better. And it's kind of, they describe it as more kind of like a cat's eye sunglass shape type thing. And then there's one called a headband, which I have no idea what that looks like. And I've only seen one other person ever bought it. And I actually have asked him, what does it look like? And I still don't know. So the Wayfarers are by far the most popular. And they come in two sizes, normal and large. And I'm a decent sized guy. I'm 6'2", 240-pound guy. And I have the regular size. So maybe I don't have too big of a head. I don't know. But these work for me, the regular size Wayfarers, in a matte black with what I think they call a carbon lens, which is just a good old dark sunglass lens. First thing that my wife said when I put these on is she said, those are some good looking sunglasses. She goes, those look good. And I was like, this is good. My wife needs to think that. And, you know, our technology over the years has always looked a little different. You know, we don't want to stand out. We already stand out because we have a white stick or we have a dog, right? And we're trying not to stand out anymore. You know, we want to look like everybody else out in the world. So that is a thing that has something to do. And it did affect me as well. I started wearing these as soon as they came in. I bought them from Amazon, actually, was the final place I bought them from. I just went on Amazon and just ordered them and they showed up. And I started wearing them and people everywhere were going, man, Kyle, those are some good looking sunglasses. But they didn't know they're smart glasses. And I was like, you know, they talk, right? That's my new line. You know, they talk. And they're like, what? Or I'll say, do you want me to take a picture of you? And now some people, the younger people, like the millennials and the Gen Zers and stuff, they're going, oh, those are those Meta glasses. They have a camera lens on the left upper, above the left lens up there where the arm connects is a lens. And on the right upper is a little white light. Why do they have the little white light? Well, that evidently was something they came up with for privacy. So people couldn't be creeps and take pictures of people without you maybe getting a chance to know they're taking your picture. So when you're videoing or you're taking a picture, the little white light comes on. Probably just somebody would paint over the white light, but maybe I'm not sure what that does. So I started wearing these and people started complimenting on how good these look. They're comfortable as all get out. I saw a sighted guy on YouTube said he puts them on, he forgets he has them on. Well, so do I. And I have them on forever until the battery runs out. And then I hear this voice in my ear that says battery 15%. And I go, oh, I forgot I had my glasses on. So I started wearing them and I started taking them to work, started playing with the AI. There's an app called MetaView that you download, META space VIEW. And you download that app and that app walks you through the entire setup process. Like your Apple AirPods, you know how you put them into a case and they charge themselves in a mobile case that you charge the whole case at another time? That's the case that come in. They come in like a RayBan, like little, I don't know if it's real leather or faux leather, but it's a little RayBan case that plugs in with a USB-C plug on the bottom. And you put your glasses back in the case, they snap in and they charge in the case. So you can always charge them there and they will update in the case too, directly from that app from your phone. I started using the AI when I went places. I'd go out and start asking it. The wake word for it is, hey, Meta. Okay, I'm glad it didn't do anything because I'm live. I'm actually using my glasses to talk to you right now. I'm wearing them. I've been listening to the entire Zoom meeting through my glasses, and I'm talking to you through the 5 microphones that are built into each pair. There's a speaker behind each ear, a tiny hole in the earpiece behind each of your ears. And it comes in almost like bone conduction, but it's not bone conduction, but it sounds like it. It just kind of appears in your ear. You know, you have nothing occlude in your ear. It's not like having to wear an AirPod or something. And I'm deaf in one ear and I have some hearing loss in the other ear. So that's really important to me to have that one ear clear. The AI is interesting. It's growing. It's getting better. And the users are getting better. These weren't designed for blind people. So it's not like Envision or Orcam where they designed those specifically for blind people. So they've got the terminology, they've got certain ways to talk to them, certain ways to ask it questions because it was designed for blind people. These were designed for the general public. And so these were designed for a mass market. That's why they're $300. They weren't designed for only this tiny percentage of people who are blind. And when you ask the AI something, it gives you short answers. It doesn't give long answers. I saw one guy said, see, we're in the Wild West. We don't know everything. Meta now knows blind people are going crazy about these. They're not quite sure why, because they can't figure out why blind people are crazy about glasses, but they're figuring it out slowly. And so the IRA is getting not IRA, I'm going to get to IRA. The AI is getting better, and the users are getting better. We're finding that it's how we talk to it, how it communicates back with us. That's why I'm saying it's wild, wild west. It's actually fun because you go out there and you say, hey, Meta, look, what does this paper say? And it'll summarize it for you because it's AI. And it'll say, this is and it's pretty fast. It comes back really fast. And it says, this is a document, it looks like a piece of mail asking you something about this. Well, a lot of people we're very impatient people, us blind people, we are, okay? And so we're like, it didn't work like I wanted. I'm gonna send it back. Well, what happened is a lot of people said, whoa, slow down, give it some time. Ask a different question, because you can ask follow-up questions. And so people started saying, read it from top to bottom. And it did. And folks went, oh. And what we tell people is it's not OCR. Why would sighted people want OCR? They don't need OCR. They can see it. So it wasn't designed for us, it was designed for them. So what you do is you just have to ask the AI to do what you need. And blind people are starting to wear these on their own to the grocery store, and they're looking down the aisle and they're going, and I've done this with my wife at the store. I said, hey, Meta, where am I at? And it says, you're in a grocery store, apparently in the meat department, because there are different types of meat and cheese, and then you can say, what kind of meat? And it starts describing it. And then you can walk over and take another shot. When you say, hey, Meta, look, it takes a picture, click, and then it answers whatever you asked it. You can also just take photos by pressing a capture button. You can start videoing. There's also a touchpad on the right arm where you can raise the volume, lower the volume. You can tap it twice to answer the phone, tap it again to hang up the phone, stop music, stop your book. I listen to Bard on here all the time. I listen to Audible on these. And I'm going really fast because I know we're not going to have a lot of time, and I also know some people are going to have questions. One of the coolest things I ever did was I knew that they hooked through WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger. So I was at the office. I was over there. I got lost outside my building. We all know what that feels like. So I'm out there and I'm disoriented. I only have one ear that works too, so I'm always disoriented. And I'm like, where is my darn building? And I'm like, all right, I got to find my way back, get the cane out, and let's go here. And then all of a sudden I went, hey, I'm going to call my wife. So I called her on Facebook Messenger on a video call on Facebook Messenger. And then I double tapped the little button on there and she goes, oh, I'm looking out of your glasses. This is too cool. And she guided me back to my building through my glasses through WhatsApp or through Facebook Messenger. And people are doing it on WhatsApp all the time, which is actually a little smoother because, Messenger kind of sucks. It's hard to use with voiceover and it does weird things. Now here's what's coming. What do we all immediately start talking about? Man, if we could just get IRA through here, that was one of the big things I was about to buy Envision. I needed IRA I've been an IRA explorer for years, and I needed IRA. But it's not connected because IRA and Meta would have to work out a contract. They'd have to work out something. They're not going to let these companies have access to their technology. Well, they're in the talks. And what's happened now is there's a beta right now of 30 people that are IRA explorers. And what they did is they figured out a workaround. And what happens is they use their IRA app. They call for an agent. They tell them I'm on my Meta glasses. The IRA agent sends a push notification back for a WhatsApp telephone call. They click on that, WhatsApp fires up, and now all of a sudden the IRA agent is looking out of the Meta glasses and guiding you through the Meta glasses. So they're beta testing that right now. That's not out in the clear yet. And there was a weird little piece of intel came through this morning that somebody thought they saw that Be My Eyes was talking to Meta, which it would not surprise me at all because those Danish guys are tricky like that. So they may be talking to Facebook, to Meta, about how that could work. Those are the main things I wanted to share. I'm using them for mobility. I'm using them for identification of stuff. I'm reading things with them. I've had weird things happen. And see, we're sharing on that Facebook group. If you go on that Facebook group, it'll blow your mind and it'll make you laugh. Some of the things people are trying and it's working. One guy played poker with he had regular playing cards and he's playing sighted people, but his glasses were reading his hands of his cards to him as they were in his hands. And so he was playing poker with them. One of the funnier things I ever did is I went outside and I didn't want to sit in my chair because my wife has bird feeders and I was scared one of the birds had pooped in my chair. So I asked my AI, I said, is there any bird poop in my chair? And I thought, I'm not going to get an answer right. It's not, it said, no, there's no bird poop in your chair. And I was like, hey, all right, these just $300. They just paid off. And I've asked it to read different items in the kitchen, in the refrigerator. See, it's Wild West. Everybody's just practicing. There's all kinds of experiences people are having with them out on the go. They're taking pictures, they're videoing. There is live Facebook. I double checked on that because I have not done it. And people are doing Facebook Live with it. They're going out and they're firing up from their glasses. I can't demonstrate what they sound like to you, but go to the YouTube videos and watch those.
Hey, Kyle.
Yeah.
What about when you've been outside your building at work trying to locate that building specifically when you just use the glasses or the vehicles?
Well, what I can do is I can ask it, what's in front, look, what do I see?
Yes.
That's something I thought, hey, Meta, look, what do I see? And it'll say there's a building, a 3-story building in front of you. There are 2 people walking. There appears to be a car on the right. It goes into that general description. And then it'll immediately, there's like a little wake sound, like a little bloop that makes a sound. And I'll say, is there a number or any words on the building? And it'll say, that is building 92, because it read the sign in front of the building. It doesn't know exactly what you want when you ask, so you have to detail down. And some of the folks are so active using these that they have formed their own new language, communicating with the AI back and forth. And so it's identifying for you. And once again, the key is they weren't designed for us, so we're having to meet them in the middle. But it's working. But now with the ability to use what I was just called, they said where you can call an ally, but phone a friend. You can use WhatsApp or Messenger to get a hold of anybody that will look through your glasses and guide you a little bit if you need it. But then your phone is also still free because your phone is not locked up. That MetaView app runs minimized. You don't have to have that up and use it. The glasses operate free of that. They also operate free of a hotspot. They just operate off Bluetooth. You don't have to be on a hotspot. And if you're in a building and you're on Wi-Fi with your phone, that's great. It goes through your phone. If you're out on data, it just runs on data through your phone. So it's a pretty smooth operation without a lot of extra, steps.
Alt audio now unmuted. Mute. Currently unmuted. Alt plus A.
I have a question. Okay. Can this device be directly, connected to in their hearing aids? And I didn't hear or understand what you meant about how you are not able to demonstrate the sound, when you ask it things, unless you wear your hearing aids yourself or something. So,
well, yeah,
let me know.
It's funny is I actually wear I wear hearing aids as well, but I don't wear them as much because I don't have bilateral, hearing loss. I have one side really, so I have hearing aids that listen on one side and shoot to the other side, which actually just confuses me even more most of the time. But sending it through to because you hear through the earpiece behind your ear, the 2 speakers there. I do not know if you could send that through Bluetooth to a hearing aid. Seems like I saw somebody ask that question. See, these are some of those brute source questions, since we're in the wild, wild west, that you would want. And I could put that question out on that Facebook group for you, actually, because I'm kind of interested in that answer myself. The reason I can't play out the sound for you is because I'm wearing them. And so I can't, and that was a problem. The YouTubers were having a problem because the blind YouTubers were like, we can't figure out how to get the sound out so you people can hear what we're hearing, because it's very private. In a very quiet room, other people might hear it, but really the other people don't hear it. That's why it's almost like bone conduction. And now somebody figured it out. Sadie, the blind lady, I think, is one of the YouTube people. She's a young lady. And I noticed on one of her videos that she's out there with her Meta glasses and you can hear it clearly talking. So somebody figured out how to clip a little microphone to the back of their ear or something. Sadi, Sadie is her name. And but like I said, it's wild right now, and it's kind of fun because nobody designed this for us, and we're playing with it. And how often has that ever happened in our life? We're just having a good time. And also, it's they run under $300 for some of them. I've seen people get them for 270, 260. One guy's Buddy Brandon, I think, or somebody said that you can maybe go to Target and use your Target, whatever they call it, the little app where you can get a discount when you go to Target, and that works because Target Optical has them. And then there was a coupon somebody else found that they used. I've seen them as high as close to 400 when somebody gets really fancy lenses in them. Maybe 400, a little over 400 for prescription. But well, it was last time you got some glasses. They're not too cheap anyway. So I'll ask that question about hearing aids on that Facebook group, though.
Yeah, I don't use Facebook, but I'd be very much interested in if they have any kind of, whatever you call it, groups of blind and visually impaired people that could try things.
Well, Ron's sending out my information. Contact me.
A beta, whatever you call it.
Okay. And you'll get a follow-up email, and I'll have Kyle's information on there. You can get in touch with him after that.
Thank you.
All right.
Kyle, this is Neva Fairchild.
Hey.
Hey, I understand AARP gives a discount, and since a lot of us are 50 and plus and qualify for AARP, it's worth a membership in AARP to get the discount, I understand.
Is it a discount with a retailer or?
Yes.
I did not know that. Thank you, and thanks for calling me old, Nina.
No.
No,
I'm
believe me.
old.
I've qualified for AARP for plenty of time. I'm just joking.
So, Kyle, to add on to that, because these are, you can have prescription lenses in them. Some people are finding they're covered by their vision insurance, so they're getting them at a discount. Cynthia was sharing that she knows a few people that they were covered completely for them. And
Tuesday, we're doing that. Tuesday, my wife wants a pair now, and we're going to Lens Crafters Tuesday morning. We're going to bounce off the optometrist, get her an updated script, and then we're going to go in, so I make sure that they know exactly what we're wanting to order. I'm going to put it on her insurance under my work.
Well, we are right at the end here. Kyle, do you have any parting words of wisdom for us?
I have one question before you guys end it.
Yeah.
Do these work with cochlear implants? I am a cochlear implant user.
Okay.
I'm about to write a question on the Facebook group about hearing aids and cochlear implants because of you two ladies asking those questions. And we're going and stay in touch with me, contact me, and let me get some answers and see, because somebody else out there is doing that. And so let's see who's doing it.
And lastly, quickly, have you tried any other different glasses or looked up stuff like Celeste or the Dot Lumen or stuff like that? It seems like there's a lot of other ones out there too.
No, I haven't, but that was an interesting thing that I'm not a techie guy, I'm just a regular guy. But a real techie friend of mine said, he said, this is about to be a blowout of products because these Meta glasses, he said in a year there's going to be about 50 different versions of the same thing. And I said, you know what? Good for us, because if they all are somewhat universally designed, now we have all kinds of choice,
Yeah, it seems that way because there's the Celeste that's up here in Canada where I am, and it's a pretty. The cost isn't that much, I think, and they get like the subscription free, and I think it's like $50 a month. Not sure on that, but
cool.
They're more like an indoor project. I think dot lumens are more like navigating outside.
So let me pick that up, because when we originally were presented with the suggestion for this workshop, the Celeste glasses were listed there, and I'd never heard of them. And so there may be room for another follow-up workshop, because we haven't touched other glasses like eSight, or I heard about one, the RX Vision glasses.
That's correct. So I can quickly explain on that. So I've been following. East side is more just low vision, but that's all I'll say.
Right. So what I'd like to do is wrap this up, but so we're, this is not the end. There's more out there, and hopefully we'll be able to do something more with some of these other glasses. So thank you for that suggestion, Palmer.
Hey, Ron.
We do have a door prize. I have pulled up a number 17, and where's that spreadsheet? And I have a Terry Ann Sorman. Is Terry Ann Sorman here? I see a Terry Ann Sorman here. You're muted, Terry Ann. So, is that you?
Yep, that would be me.
All right. Well, congratulations. You've won a $25 gift card. I'll be in touch to follow up with you.
Wow, thank you.
So thank you all for joining us. I think this was a good presentation, and I thank our presenters, Jessica from Orcam, Bob from Envision Technologies, and Kyle Kiper, my good friend. So I appreciate all of you for your time and being here with us. I thank Talana and Monique for helping assist with the meeting here today, and we look forward to having you at our next HAVIN event. So thank you all for being here.
Hey, Ron, it's Rowdy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I was just going to let you know, Kyle was talking about the Meta glasses, which I'm talking to y'all on, but as well. But while y'all were talking, I tried to put in the AirPods, which are kind of like hearing aids as well. But when you put another pair of, like when you place the AirPods in your ear, it kicks the audio over to them, so you can't use them in tandem. I just thought I'd let you know. That's what I found out just now. So didn't know if that would help anybody.
With the Bluetooth?
Yeah, it kicks it over to the AirPods instead of your glasses. So, just thought I might throw that piece of information out. Okay. Yep, exactly.
Thanks for that, Rowdy. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for being here today, man. All right.
I appreciate you putting this on. It helped me out with a lot of information I didn't know about.
It was good. I really enjoyed this today. All right. And we're going to wrap it up here, brother. All right. Take care, Rowdy.
Yes, sir. You have a good day.
Yes, sir.